Hey, how you doing? It's Andrew from AK Garage and stuff. Today we're working on a 2009 Nissan Frontier. It's four-wheel drive, has the 4.0 V6. Customers complaining about having a no heat or lukewarm heat. It takes a while for him to get heat when he does, and if he does, it's kind of on the warm side, not really hot. So there's a couple different things that can cause a no heat situation. One thing is low antifreeze. I already looked at that. His reservoir is full. Next thing is we checked for thermostat, making sure the thermostat is not stuck open. One good telltale sign is having the temperature gauge supposed to sit in a normal range. Usually it's in the middle. When a stuck thermostat is there, usually the gauge sits on the lower side, which would mean that the thermostat's stuck open and your coolant level of circulation is not flowing the way it should be, where it's reaching operating temperature. So I already checked all that. It is running fine. The other option and consideration is possibly a heater core could be clogged. Now, it could be a clog beyond repair where we can't clean it out, or we might be able to clean out the sediment, flush it all out with some new antifreeze, and we're going to try that first before we condemn this heater core being bad. So a couple of things that we're going to need to do is, of course, work on the vehicle when it's kind of on the cold side, not hot. Make sure there's no pressure inside the system, the coolant system. Have the cap off. Now there's two heater hoses that go into the heater core that's in the back. One's a in and one's an out. So I already took the liberty of starting loosening up these clamps. There's two squeeze clamps on each of these, just to make it a little more easier for us to get them off. Some tools that you might need is a good set of pliers to take them clamps off. They do actually make another tool that actually squeezes them clamps, but in this case it's going to be a little too hard to get in there, so I was able to use just a regular pair of pliers to grab it. A good this hook tool is good to get behind the hose to break the seal around the piping of the heater core, which I already did. And then I also use pliers like this. It's a hose clamp pliers. You can grab the hose, give it a little twist, it breaks the seal, and you'll be able to pull it off. On Nissan, what they did was they ran a coolant pipe that connects to this heater core, this heater hose to the heater core, but it's bolted down. So we have to make sure to get this hose to come out. We had to undo these clamps that's back here to allow this whole assembly to move forward. So that's the first thing I did, was I've taken off these two clamps. I got over to these screws. I'm going to finish taking them off, and then we're going to slide these hoses out. I do have a catch pan underneath. We take these two nuts off. There's one over here, and then there's one on the other side. So let me take them off, and then we'll go from there. So both these are now off. Look at that, hose came right off, no problem. See, I really don't like the fact that very little antifreeze is coming out of here. So that means the circulation that's coming through here, we're probably not getting a lot. Hopefully it's just enough where we can unclog it and blow it all out. Let me try and get this hose off. Wiggle it. See, there's some that came out of this one, but again, still not a lot. So now what we'll do is I'm going to hook up an air blower, and like I said, I'm going to blow all these out. I don't want to go full force because everything's going to shoot out and blow all over the place. So I'm going to blow a little at a time so all the residue starts to just trickle out, and then I'll more and more give it more force of air, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so now I'm going to hook up this air hose with a little blower on it. I'm going to put it into the port, one of the ports of the heater core. I took a little rag, covered over this so it ain't going to spray all the way out and get all over the place. I'm going to let it kind of like fall to the side. But when I go to apply the pressure of air, I'm not going to put a lot. I'm going to do a little at a time just because of whatever's in there. Plus, you don't want to give it a lot of pressure all at once because you can damage the heater core. And we don't want to do that because this is a big job to do. So let me start doing that. We're just going to get a little bit of pressure. Let's see what happens. Alright, so that first couple of sprays I just did, nothing was coming out on that other side. Now I got to see my rag move, and I do actually have some flow. I'll move that so you guys can see it. We got some flow of a little bit of coolant coming out. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see if I can get a nice change of maybe hearing more of this air escaping out where it seems like it's a good actual flow. Yeah, I'm getting good flow out of the one side. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go to the other side. Reason being is because the way the vanes are set up inside the heater core, you want it to work back and forth so the flow can go back both ways. Yeah, a little more, you see on the camera, a little more of an orangey, floody stuff coming out. So that's a good sign. So the orange sediment that was coming out of there is some foreign material that could have been added. Maybe this house, someone might have put a stop leak in here, or it could have been just the lack of changing of the coolant system, putting new antifreeze in, and the lack of to that state. But that sediment was sitting inside that heater core, which is not giving the heater core good flow. So hopefully this will rectify this problem by flushing this heater core, and we're going to go from there. Another thing, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get another hose, and because I see how much sediment is coming out on this side, I'm going to get some hot water, and I'm going to hook up a little funnel. I'm going to pour this hot water into the hose on this one side, just to fill up the heater core, and then I'm going to blow it out with that hot water. Alright, so what we got now is I'm going to apply some hot water to this. It's a good way to actually try and get all that settlement out. I hooked up a funnel to one of the ports of the heater core. I'm just going to pour some hot water in there. Just enough to where I'm going to blow it back out and hopefully get all the settlement out. So we're going to give it a shot. Pour it in. I should have a good enough angle. And we know that there is hot water because there is some coming out on the other side already from me filling up the funnel, but which is good. And as I'm watching it, I'm actually seeing that it's kind of like clear water that's coming out, which is good. You know, sometimes you could do it a couple times, work it back and forth, go to the other side, but I'm going to try and blow it through, see what it looks like, and then we're going to go from there. Again, start off slow, light hit on the trigger. Let's see what we got. It's not a lot of settlement coming out. I am going to try it again. I'm going to fill it up again with a little more hot water. I just want to see. Alright, so I flushed it out a second time just to try and get more of that sediment out. I blew it back both ways again. So now the next step is to put it back together, put the hoses back on, top it off with antifreeze, and then I'm going to run it and see if we got some good heat. Alright, so we put it all back together, got the hoses on, got the clamps on, tightened everything that needed to be tightened. And now I'm just going to top it off with the antifreeze. I'm going to leave the cap off when I start it. We're going to allow the heat, put the heat on high and so forth, and we're going to see how this heat works. I need to keep the cap off because we want to get the air. Since we expose the coolant system, there's going to be air in the coolant system now, so we have to get this air to come out. We got the reservoir. We also have it over at the radiator. I'm going to fill up both, and we're going to go from there. Alright, so we topped it all off with the antifreeze. Got the air out of the system, and feeling the heat. Temperature is almost at normal operating temperature. It's sitting just below the middle, and we got nice hot heat. It's coming out nice and warm. I think the customer's going to be happy, so I think he might have dodged a heated core issue here. So if you like this video, just hit a like, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.